Okay, we're here. I'm Don MacLaren. I've been working with Bill Anderson to tell his story. Just to show you, this again is called Seeking Heaven's Gate in LA. And he had grown up in Los Angeles, and of course we think of Hollywood, that's why this is on the top. But really there's an underbelly of crime, and happened to be that he got involved in a neighborhood that was beginning to go to the gang called the Crips. And of course the Bloods and others were around, but the Crips was the big gang in his area of neighborhood as growing up. So I'm going to ask Bill, he had a sample of what we might call a prop here. You wanted to show the viewers something about what the Crips were known to be wearing. You could identify the Crips.
This right here is the Crip shoe. If you see somebody wearing a shoe like this, either brown, black, and brown or black or blue, you would know that the person is in the Crips. This is the Crip shoe. You wouldn't see a brim wearer or Inglewood family.
They would wear another type of shoe.
They would wear another type of shoe.
Interesting. Okay.
Also, if you see somebody say Crip or Crip, they're Crip, or they associate with the Crips.
Yeah.
And if you see them do a hand signal, which was a C,
more like a C, yeah.
a C, that's the Crips hand signal. They also had a whistle too. I don't remember. I can't do it. I'm not a good whistler, but they had a whistle too. And they had a Crip cut, where the haircut was kind of short and like military style, but they call it a Crip cut. If you see somebody like that, they're a Crip.
Crip too.
And also the bomber jacket, khakis, Levi's, and sagging pants. They would be identified as a Crip. And also the brims, which is a rival to the Crips, their hand signal was like this. That's the brim hand signal right there. Piru was also a rival to the Crips. Their hand signal was a P, like that. P. And the Inglewood family, their hand signal was like that, an F. Inglewood family, that's for the Inglewood family. And the VNG, which is called the Van Ness Gang, which is the park, their hand signal was like this. Like that. And when you see that, you be terrified. When I left 59th Street School and heard all the rumors about horsemen, I had to go there and check it out myself. So I went there for summer school for one day, and I found out that the rumors were true, and I was terrified. If you read this book right here,
go ahead.
You'll find out why in the world I went back to the same school, the same Crip-infested horseman. Reading this book will let you know why. And also...
Now this was, just to interrupt, a quick question. The horseman was doing transition to high school, right? Is this the part of the timing was...
Yeah, after horseman will be the next school will be high school.
Now did you want to say anything about the high school, which was known as what, Washington High School?
Yeah, the next school that most people that went to after horseman was either Crenshaw High School or Washington High School. We moved away from the Crenshaw High School area and moved towards the Washington High School area. So that was high school I went to.
But was your parents planning to have a better neighborhood, or any reason? Or?
Well, they were planning to have a better neighborhood, but also a better house. They wanted a bigger house. And it happened to be near Washington High School, which was good. I could walk there.
But Washington High School was...
But Washington High School turned out to put horsemen to shame. Washington was the gang capital.
Gang capital.
It was exactly the gang capital. They had about 8, 9 gangs there, believe it or not. From the time I went there, from 76 to 79.
Now, were these all Crip gangs, or a mixture of Brims and others at Washington?
No, it was only the Crips. It was a Crip school.
Okay, Crip school.
Crip school.
But
if you want to die or get seriously beaten or whatever, come there with a red bandana.
Which would be the Blood?
The Bloods,
Okay.
But also, the Bloods It wasn't. We didn't call it. There was no Bloods. It was like all the gangs were against the Crips, and they were like the Outlaws. They were a gang against the Crips. The Brims, like I said before, the Pyrus, Inglewood Family, V&G, Van Ness Gang, to name a few. All the gangs were against the Crips, but the Crips, they had the numbers. They had a huge, like an army.
Yeah, right. But now the Crips had different names just based on different streets where these young guys were living, right?
That happened later on.
Yeah.
In the beginning, the Crips was as one. They were together. They were more together back then when they first started. They were pretty much West Side Crips and East Side Crips.
Okay.
But I think it started changing during the 80s, 1980s, when they started doing different sets, like 8 Gangsters, the Rolling 60s, the 107 Hoover Crips. They started breaking off the sets. I guess because they was too big and there was really nothing going on. Nobody was against them.
Yeah.
And also, I think the drug wars and turf battles started
happening.
Okay.
And the teachers, how did they handle the situation? But some of them were threatened too. Is that correct? In Washington High School?
Well, I'll tell you this much. The teachers, a lot of teachers, they were scared.
Yeah.
A lot of teachers, they were scared. And I'm kind of upset about that because I feel I didn't learn like I should have learned. You know, I missed out on learning having a good education because the teachers really didn't teach that much. They were pretty much babysitting and just trying to get through the day without having anything violent.
Wasn't it true though that you mentioned that sometimes gang members might be in the back of the classroom smoking marijuana or something with an open window to blow out the smoke?
You wouldn't think that was happening, but it did happen.
Yeah. In
some classes, some teachers, they were so scared where gang members would come in and they would smoke cigarettes. Well, exactly in the back of the class, through the window, but they would smoke cigarettes and sometimes weed, marijuana, in the class. And just for them to stay in the class so they can ditch and just hang around the classroom to be safe from the administrator that's out on the grounds looking for truants. Yeah,
so that was the way they spent their time with no education. So now Bill certainly knows that education is all the more important, and he's had a chance to go through the Army. But the point is, he wants a message here for the young people to really say, hey, gangs are not the way of life. What future is there, right? So any other messages?
Well, also I say, this book is for anybody that any young man out there or young woman that want to start a family. Reading this book, it'll give you the good foundation to do so.
Okay, so your parents were good, church attenders, and they went there regularly. Your father was very strict about that.
Well, my father, we went to church every Sunday with my father, and my mother, she usually would come for the evening service from like 10 o'clock to 1.
Okay, so we have an interesting insight into the real life of growing up with gangs and trying to get past the terror of going to school. And this was Monday to Friday. Bill was involved with trying to escape from or avoid gangs as much as possible, but they were still around. And I guess you did have 1 or 2 friends that were gang members with that?
Yeah, I had a couple people that turned out to be gang bangers and stuff like that. But one other thing, I can't believe I went to school every day. I didn't miss a day from the 7th grade to the 9th grade at Horse Bend. I went to school every day, didn't miss a day. Yes, I had some friends that was turned into the gangs and Crips. Some of them hardcore, some of them not so hard, but it don't matter. If there's a rival gang out there and they just see you as a Crip, you can be a good Crip or a bad Crip, your life is in jeopardy.
Yeah, it's not worth the gangs. They have no future to offer. Certainly they look down on education, and that's not the future. So we want to stop the killings and the shootings and the gang fighting that even goes on now. New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, any of the big cities in the country. And we can guarantee that there's probably going to be hundreds of people, young people especially, shot in New York City every year, and even added up, Chicago, we have over, and Los Angeles, we have over 1,000 more. So this is a good, great book, and I know Bill is happy to share and to try to help those who are young people. We have something here to help them. So we look forward to getting the word out, and please get a book and pass it on to young people so they can get the help. Thank you, and I'm going to close up here, and we'll be in touch. Like to hear from you.